welcome to the show. Mike is here. Garrett is here. Is that 3 shows in a row?
That is. We're on a
People
roll.
can't bitch about that. People cannot bitch about me this week.
Yep.
We're on a roll, and hopefully it continues. Still a lot going on around here. It's still a craziness around here, but that's okay. I've got a ton to do tomorrow. Holy fuck. I'm going to be driving all over the goddamn state tomorrow, and I look forward to that. But we'll get to the news here in a second. I was talking, I got the pleasure of FaceTiming with young Marshall yesterday, and he's looking forward to his uncle being around, and I'm asking him if he's excited about this or that, and he's showing me all his stuff and what's going to happen here. And then I was like, Marsh, when I get there, I'm going to be taking you to school and picking you up, because his mom's in school and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, buddy, and he's like, I know. He's like, now, do you know where we're going? And I'm like, yeah, I'll figure that out, buddy.
We'll be all right.
We'll be all right. And he's like, because here's the thing, Uncle Mike. When in the morning you take me to the front door and you drops me off, but in the afternoon when you come back and get me, I'm at this part of the school and you have to go to the back and you need to sign me out, and then you take me and then we go wherever we want. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna figure that out, dude. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
That's funny.
He's so
worried.
excited. It's like, yeah, the amount of like detail that he feels I need right now, and you're like, dude, relax. Don't worry, someone will tell me what happened to our TV over there.
That's what I'm saying.
What'd you do?
I didn't do any of
I'm
this.
blaming Garrett for that.
Oh,
that
man.
looks like Garrett's fine handwork.
Probably is.
Is that yeah? So I can't. Are all the TVs doing that?
All the TVs are being weird right now.
Huh? Are we live?
We are live.
Yeah, I don't like when I can't see what's going up on that screen. But what does the picture look like on YouTube or Facebook? Does it look normal?
Yeah, it looks normal on YouTube.
You have control of the cameras?
Yep.
Okay.
We're both on camera. We should be on.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
We're going to troubleshoot as we go.
Dude, I got worried last night. I was talking to G about, like, hey,
There we
you
go, we
fixed
got
it. There we are.
I'm a producer.
Yeah, you're a real producer.
I'm
now.
doing my best.
Yeah. Good work, dude. Easiest that would have taken 2 weeks for you to figure out what you
Well,
just
now I got to
did
figure
there,
out this TV, so.
Yeah, well, we were going to play a couple things later,
I know.
too.
That's why I'm trying to figure it out now.
But the heart attack conversations I'm having about are like, I know what a struggle it was early with up and down speeds. And I don't even know what that means, really. But I know how important it is if people are trying to download your show and have it, no lag times and delays and stuff like that. And it's like, well, what is it out there? What, because it's not like, and so my up and down speed here is like 175 over 15.
Okay.
Right. In my current house right now. And we had to work to get there. Ron did a lot of work, I believe at the time, and this may be all outdated. The technology might be way greater now, and it's not as relevant. But G was like, yeah, you know what Dad's is? And I'm like, no. And I figured he was going to throw some stupid number out there. Dude, he's like double everything. He's like, it's like 375 because he's in Silicon Valley, and they've got fiber optics everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but when you start talking about the middle of the desert, what their capabilities are, it worries me. I'm confident my guys will be able to handle that end of it, but it's like, shit, I haven't had to think about or worry about. Oh, did you get that one going
Got
too?
that TV fixed too.
What the hell was going on here, Garrett?
Sometimes we turn that TV on, it just has no input, so I closed off the mirror desktop thing we got here, and then I reopened it and turned the TV back on, and it works.
So
there we go.
You're either fixing problems now, or you're the firefighter that's starting fires so that he can put them
fire
out.
suppression.
I know you do. So I don't know if you sabotage this so you can look like the hero now and be like, look what I did. I fixed everything. So no, I think we're good to go.
Yeah, we're all good to go.
So it's just funny as this all comes together here and is starting to come together there, and like, it just terrifies me. But we're getting there.
It's funny too, because there was like 20 minutes before the show where I was getting it all up. I had everything ready. TV looked good. Everything looked good. And then as soon as we hit play on the show, everything looks like shit. I'm like, what the hell
happened? What happened? As long as it's going out to the people, I mean, if it's just internally we're not able to see what's going on, I don't know why, but it is nice having a monitor here to do. But I'm finding it hard, too, because there's a few people that I want to bring in here before I leave, and none more than Vinny Dombrowski. I want to bring Vin in. And so I've been texting with Vinny and over the last month, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to leave Detroit without having you in one last time. Bring your guitar. We'll tell some stories. We'll, shoot the shit. And he's just so good. He's one of my favorite guests ever. And I'm like, I really want to have a handful of guys back in here one last time in this studio proper before I go. And Vin's like, the next month is kind of crazy. I'm like, well, that's all we've got to work with.
Yeah.
Because he's wrapping up 2 albums now. And every time I see him, he's on tour somewhere. He's playing at the Whiskey. He's here, there, everywhere. And it's like, here's what I need you to do, Vin. I need you to find a 2-hour window somewhere in the next fucking month. And let's make it happen. And I'm doing the same thing with Landau. I want to bring Landau in. So he and I have been talking. He's like, 100%, don't worry. I will not let you leave without coming back in and doing a show, which is great. And then I'm going to do Normal World again, which is cool. And so they sent me a bunch of dates now, and I'm stuck looking at this schedule. I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't. Like June and July. Yeah. And there's a handful of dates in both months that are available, and it's like, I don't think I can do June. I think I'm going to be too fucking busy in June. So I think it's going to be in July that I'll fly out. They'll fly me out. I'll go to Dallas and do Normal World again, which is a lot of fun. Those guys are great, and
they do a good show.
And it's a cool experience being in a proper studio. I mean, I'll never get used to makeup people putting makeup on you and all that kind of shit. But it is a tightly run ship, and they do a good job. And Dave is salt of the earth. I love Landau. So, and I honestly think going forward, he's going to be a juggernaut as a comic. I really believe that about him. I don't say that about most comics, but I think Landau has something different. There's a few guys that have that. He's one of them. And so I really look forward to seeing where his shit goes. And I know people around here are very familiar with him. They know who he is, and I think most people would agree. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on Rogan's show soon. Yeah. That I know they were planning on that at one point. I don't think I'm speaking out of school and saying that. And then COVID hit, but he's already lit up the mothership. That Rogan's room down there in Austin.
Yeah, he's
done
gonna
that.
Go far.
Yeah, so
he's got that. Like just watching his stand-up, he's got that background of like a weird, troubled, crazy past that you cannot you can't get.
I worried about that actually. I thought like he's going to run out of stories and then what?
No,
no, it's not the case. He's. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was saying just that troubled past is something that you can't get from another. He's not making up like a knock joke. It's like he's telling you a story from his life that you can't fucking believe, but you kind of do believe it because he's got everything like perfect. He knows exactly what happened.
Yeah. And those stories are all true, too. That's the funny part, because I've asked him off air, like, come on, dude, that didn't. He's like, no, that happened. And that guy I introduced you to last week, that was Joe. He was in those stories that I'm telling on stage and blah, blah, blah. And this is my brother. He's got a brother that creeps me out because Dave Landau has, like when you look at him, there are certain features and you go, that's Dave Landau's lips. And then I see his brother and I'm like, ugh, he's got the Landau lips.
Are they twins?
It might be, but I don't think they're, what is it? Fraternal twins versus identical?
Yeah, I think they're fraternal.
I think they are, but there's certain things when you see a Landau family member, you're like, yeah, that's a family member of his. But anyway, something to look forward to.
He does have a twin brother.
Yeah. I wonder what his twin brother's doing. That's got to be hard to be Dave Landau's twin brother.
Any brother of a celebrity.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. All right, let's get into what's going on in the world. I thought this was interesting. We were talking about the Tom Brady roast that Netflix did. Now, I watch, unless it's live sports, football, basically. I don't watch shit live. I let it air, and then I'll get to it when I get to it. It's just kind of the way I am. Back in the day, that was you watched it when it aired, and then it was gone and whatever. But nowadays, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this on Sunday night. I'm gonna do whatever, and I'll watch it whenever I want. Well, there was a lot of discussion before we came on the air, and when we were talking about that roast in particular. And Kim Kardashian took a beating with, and I didn't fully understand it because I'm like, of all the people you can hate on, Kim Kardashian doesn't bother me. And I kind of laid out my case of like, I think she's done better thing when she could have easily gone down the hole of just being a degenerate, like, look at my ass chick. As she got older, she seems to have matured and is doing some things at least I can get behind and respect. And I thought that was cool. And I said that. But they talked like a lot. I had multiple stories about the booing that she took. Like they pounded her out the gate. And I was like, God, I just don't remember it like that. Maybe there was a smattering of boos, but this thought that she was booed without mercy as soon as she walked up there, I was like, I don't know. I guess everyone's definition of something like that is different. Well, there's a reason for that.
They're all Kanye fans.
No. No, not about that, but why I didn't hear it that way.
Okay.
And it turns out Netflix had no control over what happened live Sunday night. So if you watched it live Sunday night, you heard a chorus of boos right out the gate. Well, Netflix edited that out before they went, hey, it's available now for everybody to watch whenever they want. And so that's why I didn't hear it. So they took all that out. Apparently, she went up there and had to wait and was like, okay. And then Kevin Hart had to kind of get involved and be like, all right, guys, enough. Like it was that.
That sounds like it'd kind of be funny, though. You should have left it in.
Part of me thought that too. Like, hey, this is what happened. This is the reality of what happened. Now, the magic of television, they've never given a shit about that. They're going to, but in a case like that, I don't know why they took that out, but protect her for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it was just like they're trying to shave it down to 3 hours on the nose, and
you can
an
cut out some
easy
extra
way
parts.
to do that is that like I remember editing roasts in back on the Drew Mike show. Like Greg Giraldo would do it, and he'd have 5 minutes on stage, and we'd air almost the whole thing. And when I would edit that, it was like I hated when you could obviously tell there was a laugh break that was cut that someone edited, and it's like you could really hear him, and then it dies down really quick. And so I would do these long overlapping fades, and so that you couldn't really tell, but I could shorten it by 10 seconds per joke. And it was like I wanted to establish. I didn't want to change what happened, but I wanted to fucking get to it. Like, get to the jokes and the next one. I don't need to hear the crowd laughing uproariously for 10 straight seconds between jokes, which is what it would require in the room. So I would do these long fading overlaps of the laugh dying down and the laugh coming up, overlap them, and then I would be able to cut out a giant chunk of bullshit in the middle. So I get that, and I don't feel like I ever altered what was really going on in the room. It was just cut for time, So maybe that's what they were doing, but I do feel a little vindicated now. Like, oh, I didn't hear it like that, and well, there was a very good reason why, and it's that Netflix fucking changed all that. So I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that are like, I would have liked to see her get booed without mercy. I'm sure a lot of our listeners feel that way. But I don't know, man. I'm trying to lose the hatred I have for so many people. And Kim would have fallen into that category. I just kind of despised people who got famous for the sake of fame. Like, that's all they brought. Like, that's been the joke and the story about the Kardashians is, what are they famous for? They're nothing. They're literally famous for nothing. And I despised people like that, but, I don't really have a problem with her, so.
No, as she keeps going on, I get less of a problem with her as it happens.
Yeah.
I feel like her whole family's just more annoying than anything else. That includes, Bruce Jenner, Kylie Jenner, there's Kylie Jenner, Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn, and then all those people.
Yeah.
I feel like their whole family as together is just starting to get like too much.
I don't, what is it? Chris, the mom, you had Bruce, Caitlyn, that storyline was obnoxious. The other ones, like Chloe, was it? Is that one of them?
Chloe's one of them.
Yeah. And people thought OJ was maybe her dad, that he was banging Chris, which, yeah, maybe. I could see it. And then the younger ones, and they were really young when they started that show. I think they're billionaires now.
That's what I was going to say. I think everyone really hates Kylie Jenner only because Kylie Jenner
Really?
She's known to be the youngest female millionaire of all time, and it's literally just kind of slapping her name.
Billionaire?
On makeup. Billionaire, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just from slapping her name on makeup brands and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And at the same time, I don't really fault people. Like if you can get that going where you're making a shit ton of money because those companies want to endorse you and they realize the power of your Instagram account. Like I'm never going to go buy makeup from there. So what do I care?
Yeah.
To each their own. Go get yours. I don't.
It might just be the nepotism that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. I do understand that. Yeah, Yeah, and doesn't she have a twin sister? Kylie?
Not Kylie. No.
No, don't they have twin daughters too?
Maybe she has twins.
No. I mean like.
No, Kendall and Kylie.
Yeah, Kendall and Kylie. Anyway. I shouldn't even talk about them. I don't know shit about
I don't either.
The Kardashians.
I was not keeping up with the Kardashians.
No. I know some chicks that were into that shit big time, though. I really do, but I was not one of the people.
Yeah, Drew.
Is Drew into that?
No, he is. He just loves his daytime TV stuff.
He does,
I always
man.
make fun of it.
Yeah, he loves his reality TV. He always has. And I think this goes back to, like, he used to watch soap operas when he was in college and shit. So Drew's got a weird streak of shit he's into. Like,
it's why he's in the WATP now. It's kind of why I'm in it. It is just a big soap opera.
Yeah, but at least it's about media members, and I get that as for morning show guys, I totally understand why you'd want to be in that world. But and maybe there's some soap opera aspect to it.
There is.
But Drew definitely, like, I think he used to watch General Hospital and stuff. Like, I used to hate it when we talk about Fantasy Island or The Bachelor. I couldn't give a fuck less. I didn't care when I was in my 20s, my 30s, never cared. And even in the heyday of the Drew and Mike show, I just never fucking cared. Didn't care. But he was the host, so he could do whatever he wanted. And he could, but Drew's very good at making things entertaining, even if it's not something you know about or care about.
Yeah.
That's kind of his gift. And so, but yeah, he's like, did you see Bachelor last night? I'm like, fuck no. Hell no, I didn't see The Bachelor last night. That's what my mom watches.
What am I, gay?
Yeah, what am I, gay? Dude, I thought I made it clear that I don't like sucking dicks. Of course I didn't watch The Bachelor last night. Anyways, Ben Shapiro. Do you have thoughts on Ben Shapiro?
I used to like him. I used to listen to his show all the time, but as he goes on, he gets more grating and a little more grifty. It's a lot of these right-wing guys are turning into the left-wing guys they were yelling at in the beginning.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for Ben.
Yeah, he's definitely intelligent.
Super intelligent.
Yes.
And that's kind of the problem I have with this story that I have today. And I think I'm fair enough. There are liberal fucking douchebags out there that I vehemently disagree with.
Yeah.
Mark Lamont Hill, right? Professor at a university. And there's a lot about it. I virtually agree with nothing he thinks. About life, about, race relation, like none of it do I subscribe to. But I would be being dishonest if I said Mark Lamont Hill is a dumb person, or it doesn't mean I agree with his takes, but I can say absolutely, like, look, I disagree with him, but he's not stupid. He's a smart guy. And there's a few people on the left that I could say that about. Bakari Sellers is another one. I used to watch Bakari on CNN. He'd be a, legal whatever, or when race shit was all the rage, he would be on there a lot. It was like, if I hear Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar talking about something, I just go, oh, yeah, they're stupid people. Those are not critical thinkers. They're not serious people. They're fucking dumb, and they're fun to make fun of.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing over the years about Don Lemon. Don Lemon is just an unserious, stupid person. He's not smart. He's there for very specific reasons, and there's virtually no value to a Don Lemon. Bakari Sellers, I would not say that about. I would say Bakari Sellers is a smart enough guy who says dumb shit from time to time, and I would say this is one of them. So he went on The View, and I think we have video of it, where he claimed that Ben Shapiro and Clay Travis lacked the intellect to have honest discussions, which is just so absurd on its face, and I don't know that it helps unless you're trying to capture and talk to the absolute lowest common denominator of MSNBC viewers and The View viewers.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to be like, talk to them exclusively, they'll buy it. Those morons have bought whatever
the
dumb
clucking
shit
hens.
you're saying. Yeah, the clucking hens, exactly. And but anybody else with half a brain is going to go, Bakari, what are you talking about? Like, there's a lot you can knock Ben Shapiro for, and Clay Travis if you wanted, but lacking intellect, I don't think is one of them. Do we have him talking about it? Here he is talking with Joy Behar.
Yep.
On The View. Did we lose the...
Nope, just quiet. No audio.
Well, I just racism.
There we go.
I mean,
okay. Do you want to start at the beginning?
Yeah.
It's kind of say my good friend, and sometimes it's
I
anybody
can
from
see
the
the
South.
beginning.
Yeah, it's hard to see because the pinball machine's in the way. There we go.
Your white conservative friends on the right, one of them, Tucker Carlson, says that you monetize racism.
He does.
He monetizes racism.
Tell us
In South Carolina, we always kind of say my good friend, and sometimes if anybody from the South ever says bless your heart.
Yeah, I said that's what Johnson. That's what Johnson.
That's the best way that you can kind of tell them off without telling them off. But Tucker has he's in this silo, and I knew there was a problem when he was able to go on primetime TV and talk about the great replacement theory, which is rooted in white supremacy. It's fear, it's grievance, it's all of these things, and it just permeates itself and it manifests itself in hate. And the problem is that they have ads that play before and ads that play after. And you have these individuals, the Clay Travises of the world, the Ben Shapiros of the world, these people who don't necessarily have the intellect to have honest discussions, but yet they're able to become millionaires because they're actually just circulating and promulgating this fear.
Have you looked in a mirror lately, Bakari? Because that is comical on its face.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things you can say about Ben Shapiro or Clay Travis. No, you do not just become a millionaire like as if this is some sort of grift. They just have different opinions than you. And it's very much that people could say, no, dude, you are the one. The only time I've ever seen you talk, Bakari, is about race shit. And you throw gasoline onto that fire. Now, I've given you, I'll give you the courtesy of going, this is not a stupid individual. Bakari Sellers has the intellect to have these conversations. But if anyone is grifting off race relations, holy fuck, I can think of 1,000 things Tucker Carlson has discussed. 1,000, probably off the top of my head. And race being one of them. Bakari Sellers, all you do is talk about race. So if anyone's capitalizing and grifting off race relations in this country, I would argue that it's more you. And if you think, here's how I know you're full of shit, and here's how I know The View is full of shit. When he takes a shot like that and says Ben Shapiro and Clay Travis don't have the intellect to basically have these discussions, blah, blah, blah. Here's how I know you're full of shit. And if you actually believed this, you would absolutely welcome going into a room with them. The View has a long-standing policy that Ben Shapiro is not welcome on their microphones, on their platform. Since that clip aired, both Clay Travis and Ben Shapiro have come out and said,
when and where
I will gladly come. I know it's going to be tough.
Gross.
What with the lack of intellect on our parts, it would be very tough to come into that View studio and hold our own, but we'll give it our best shot. And since you've called us out by name, only think it's fair. Here's how you know they're full of shit. They will not have Clay Travis on The View. They will not have Ben Shapiro on The View. Ben Shapiro and Clay Travis do not need them. So this idea that, we wouldn't want to platform them. We wouldn't want to give them, believe me, their platforms are way fucking bigger than yours.
Yep.
In fact, your audience growth for those episodes would triple if you put Ben Shapiro or Clay Travis on The View. Their numbers are dog shit. For something that's broadcast nationally and promoted ad nauseum, you get shit numbers. This idea of CNN holding the clout nowadays to we're not going to platform that individual. Yeah, just be honest about it. You're not platforming anybody. This idea that you would platform Joe Rogan. He has 100 times bigger audience than you. You are not giving Joe Rogan. If anything, he's giving you a platform.
Yep.
That's the reality of it. And the fact is, if your arguments on The View were worth a shit at all, if your arguments could stand up to discussion and debate, you wouldn't be afraid to have Ben Shapiro on or Clay Travis on. And Bakari Sellers knows that as well as anybody, which is why it fucking drives me nuts, man, that we make it like this. Like, it'd be so much fun. I'd love to see Bakari Sellers go one-on-one with Clay Travis or Ben Shapiro. It would give the country a much better understanding, and there's a lot of nuance to a lot of these things, and I'm sure Bakari could hold his own.
Yeah.
These clucking hens could not. No. They would get run roughshod over. Maybe Sunny Hostin sort of could. I mean, I'm not going to just declare her stupid. She's a federal prosecutor at one point. She's,
I heard Fed, I'm out.
Well, yeah, well, but you, not that you have to respect it, but you have to respect the process of going through law school and getting
as far as he did.
Yeah, not to give them too much credit, but you know, there's something to that. I don't know what it is about them wanting to shut down the door to debate, because I know they won't have them on. The obvious thing to do is go, we're going to have a primetime special. We're going to welcome Bakari Sellers in, who said some things about Ben and Clay, and we're going to have Ben and Clay on, and we'll debate. Like, do a primetime special hosted by the twats of The View. Awesome. But they'll never do that. No. They don't even want to hear their argument.
And it sucks, too, because I got both Ben and Clay's tweets right here, and they're ready. They want to go.
Oh, what do they say? Go ahead, read
Ben Shapiro tweeted out, "Hey, at The View, would love to come on to discuss. It'll be tough, but I'm ready to take on this extraordinary intellectual challenge."
Yeah, he's being a smartass there, but he's right. And Clay is fucking awesome too.
He has a little bit longer. He had to give himself a second tweet, but he said, "Bless his heart, at Bakari Sellers." Who still won't say whether men should be able to play in women's sports. Just went on The View and said, at Ben Shapiro and I weren't intelligent enough to have an honest conversation, and that's how we became millionaires.
Yeah.
And then he followed it up with, even my lowly intellectual capacity, I would go on The View and have a debate with the hosts. It would be incredible TV. Given my intelligence was just directly attacked by name on their show, it only seems fair to allow me on and let their audience decide what to think of me.
Yeah. The problem is, The View's audience, my guess is, when you've got a show like that that's doing a live audience taping, they're begging people to come into that studio. So you're getting all walks of life, that people that are in town and go, I'm going to be on a TV show. I want to see what it's like to film it. I get it. I've been there. I've done that. I've gone to TV shows and done that. Like, wow, I wonder what it's like in the studio audience and how they actually film this. And it's kind of a unique experience. Now, you get someone like, with a big fucking audience. It's like those people are long in advance getting tickets to be there. They want to be there. They support the people on it. Whether that's Saturday Night Live, for instance. Saturday Night Live doesn't have trouble selling out their audience. David Letterman or the big, historic shows. They don't need to just go on the streets and beg people to show up. Free tickets, sign up here, we'll give you a fucking, But so the point of me bringing that up is, when you have a crowd that's not necessarily for you, but they're just there to see a show tape, they won't necessarily just fall in line and side with your arguments.
Yep.
So the only way you're safe is to bring in the exact people that think exactly like you, instead of having open, honest conversations where you need to back up some of your thoughts. My experience is Democrats don't want to do that. People on the left don't want to do that. And I say this from experience. I've talked about it before. And I'm glad that I'm not this way. And one of the interviews I did, I've talked about before over the years, there was a big fucking book on George Lucas, and it went deep dive into the nerd world of Star Wars and George Lucas and all that. Now, I found out before that interview, not that I give a shit, but that guy, and this was in the heart of, Trump was the president, I believe, at this point, 15, 16, 17, somewhere around there, and this guy had Trump derangement syndrome like you can't imagine. This guy is off the reservation, like deep into it. And Trump's name never came up in our interview. Now, people that I've booked interviews with that find out some things about this show, they'll just refuse to do the show. They'll agree to do the show, do a little research, and then they bail. I did not want to talk to the George Lucas guy about Trump or politics. That's not why I'm interviewing you. Yeah. I'm not bringing you in here to talk about your opinion on Donald Trump. I don't think my audience gives a shit about your opinion on Trump. I don't think it's relevant to the fucking 500-page book of yours I just read. And so I didn't cancel that interview. I wouldn't dream of it. And it never came up. And we had a lovely hour-long interview about his book. Now, I booked an interview recently behind the scenes. I had several conversations with Dave Abruzzese, former Pearl Jam drummer, one of my favorite. Anybody that's listened to me for any length of time knows I'm a huge fan of Dave Abruzzese. I think he's one of the fucking greatest drummers out there. I think the work he laid down on not just the Versus and Vitology albums, but the shit he laid down on Unplugged is a masterclass in drumming. What he did on Pearl Jam Unplugged is a masterclass in cymbal work, in timing. It's the reason I own a DW Collector Series drum set. I wanted the fucking kit that player's playing. That's how much I respect him. Now, he's a Trump derangement syndrome guy.
The whole band is.
Yeah, exactly. He's not in Pearl Jam. He hasn't been in Pearl Jam for many years, but he's still... Most Pearl Jam fans, when I see discussions, they agree. Like, that dude's the fucking GOAT when it comes to drumming. All respect to Matt Cameron, but Dave Abruzzese is the shit. I couldn't give a fuck less how retarded Dave Abruzzese is with his politics. I don't care. I wanted to talk to him about the recording process with Pearl Jam at a time when they were the biggest band on planet Earth by a mile. I wanted to know what it's like to be writing songs with Eddie Vedder and recording those things and touring and starting in clubs and then being the biggest band on planet Earth. And what that, like, I wanted to deep dive into his cymbal work, which is a masterclass in cymbal work and shit like that, and where that comes from and where do you even get that kind of skill set? That's what I wanted to talk about Dave with. Yeah. As my favorite drummer of all time, I couldn't give a fuck less about his politics. I wasn't interested in going, so what do you think about this November? Couldn't care less. And Dave was very polite, very cordial. He and I had several back and forths. And I was like, Dave, I want to get you on, blah, blah, blah. We were working out schedules. And here's what happened. Dave Abruzzese, I fucking guarantee you 1,000% went and listened to this show. Yeah. And I don't know what show he listened to. I don't know what segment he listened to. But without question, you don't just go dark out of nowhere. You don't just end the conversation out of nowhere unless he heard a conversation and I was beating the shit out of protesters, or I was praising Trump for something, or I was shitting on Biden, whatever it was. He took issue with it. Maybe he heard my takes on George Floyd. I don't know. But whatever it was, that dude shut the door on that. And that is something I could give you a dozen examples of over the years where 100% of the time and exclusively on the left. This does not happen on the right with people that I've wanted to talk to on the right. This happens exclusively with fucking lefties all the time. They fucking will shut things down, shut the conversation down. I think it's sad. I think it doesn't help. I think what beats bad arguments are better arguments. If you think you're so right, then come on my show, kick the shit out of me with your argument. Dude, the fact is, there's almost nothing politically I agree with Jimmy Dore. When you talk about, like, he's a classic leftist. I know people paint him as a right-wing fucking, he's been red-pilled. Bullshit. He's as leftist as they get. I disagree with him vehemently about protests. I disagree with him wholeheartedly about his take on Israel versus fucking Hamas. I disagree with him a lot. But you know what? I listen to him. I listen to his take. I want to hear what his side is saying. And I feel smarter for doing so. I like listening to people that aren't so stuck on a position that they're not willing to see reality. Yeah. Jimmy Dore is not going to just be like, I'm a lefty, so everything the left says is right. And I don't want to hear someone doing that. I don't feel like I'm a right-wing guy, and so everything the right says is right. I don't agree with that. I fucking adore my conversations with Ed Grabo. I adore him. He came over for the other day, was here for 2 hours. And we talked about everything. Talked about lots of shit. But I appreciate getting his input, and I feel smarter for doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it helps bolster my argument. He would disagree, but at least I know where he's coming from. I know his heart's in a good place. And I know I want to know that about wherever a conversation goes with an interview subject. And it's too bad that too often I could point to these examples of people that have bailed after agreeing to do something. And I know it's like, okay, I'm going to listen to this show and see what I'm getting into for. Like, if some lefty show invited me on, I'd do it. I'm not, and whatever they want. If they want to talk about radio, cool. If they want to talk about my career, cool. If they, wanted to talk about why I believe this or that, I'll give them my opinion, and it doesn't have to change theirs. But I don't think anybody loses when you hear multiple sides to the discussion. And it's sad we're in a place right now. I wish more people would understand that, if someone's making really bad arguments and you don't go on there and talk about and lay out your case, then we're all dumber for it. We're all dumber for it, which is a shame, because here's a great opportunity, circling back to Ben Shapiro and Clay Travis. This could have been a great opportunity, and I know it won't go anywhere, because there's no fucking way the producers, directors, executives, and cackling hens of The View would ever embarrass themselves by getting their fucking dicks kicked in by the likes of a Ben Shapiro. And, and they would. Yeah. Trust me. As someone who can see who's real and who's not on these arguments, they would get their tits kicked in by Shapiro and Clay Travis.
Well, then,
fact.
Going back to your interview thing, I think a great example of you being able to have an interview that doesn't have to get political, even if the person you're interviewing is a political person, is Mike Lindell. You guys had him in for like almost the 2-hour phone call, and not how top politics got brought up. None.
Zero.
It was his life
story.
I
wanted to talk about crack and fucking starting a business.
I want to talk about surviving the Ducks winter.
Yeah. And how funny was that interview?
It's the best.
That interview, I was talking to Dawn just the other day, his right hand. And I said, by the way, I'm going to need a couple things because I'm moving and I'm blah, blah, blah. And so her and I were going back and forth. And I said, by the way, when I get set up in Arizona, I want to have Mike back on. And I said, can you make that happen? And she said, absolutely. So I look forward to that.
Hell yeah.
And the people like Raj that are just like, fuck Mike Lindell, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what do you hate about someone who went through fucking drug abuse and all that kind of shit? But he took issue with the election. So what? You didn't believe that anyways. Your team won. So what do you even give a shit? You want him destroyed to the core, never to be able to sell a pillow again.
My wife's really going to be upset about this.
Yeah, I'm like, what? You just sound rotten and evil, like vindictive and evil. Like, this man disagreed with what I believe in my heart politically. So destroy him. Like, I don't have that in me. I just don't. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And if you think the election was rigged, which there's some arguments to be made, I'll just leave it at that. I'm not willing to go on and be like, oh, guarantee the election was stolen, but fucking A right, it looks weird. It does look weird. The fact that Joe Biden got 81 million votes, bullshit. Yeah. I don't know that I believe that. But we can't even have the conversation, and this guy's willing to go out there and go, I'm not buying it. Okay, he's entitled to do that. Hillary Clinton hasn't acknowledged the results of the 2016 election yet. She's still denying it. Yet she's given a platform anywhere she wants. It's fucking weird to me.
Well, it's like when you brought me in on my first interview, like 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
You guys were, we were just talking about stories and shit like that. And I told you, like, I got spit on a date with a guy because I wasn't a full-on lefty.
That's right.
And that's one of those things where I was like, dude, if you didn't, like, why'd you spit on me? Like, you just, like, said, hey, I don't agree with that. And I'm like, oh, I do, and whatever. And we had a discussion or something. You're like, you know what? I'm very politically active, and I'm, I just don't think we're going to get along on this term. I'm
Wait,
like, you know what?
You said that, or
no, if he did.
Yeah.
Like, if he just came up and said, I disagree with that, I'm not very I'm very politically active, and I think we're not going to get along, I'd be like, you know what? I can respect that. Have a great life.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Because believe me, I've dated some lefty people, like girlfriends that are just super left, and it's like I don't even bother going with there. Maybe I'll take a shot here and there, joke like, oh my God, I can't believe your retarded ass thinks this, and leave it at that. I don't need to get in the weeds and debate. Yeah. It's like, dude,
I don't need to be sitting in a Big B by myself with a loogie on my shirt.
No, I still can't believe that someone spit on you.
Spit on me.
Good Lord, that's just. It shows you where we are.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's only going to get worse too. It really is. It's going to get worse.
Dude literally stood up, spit on me, and left. And I'm like, well, I guess this date's over.
Yeah.
Never heard from him again.
Really?
Don't need to hear from him again.
Yeah, no. I think it worked out well.
I think so. You know what? It wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah.
I think that was a good sign.
To me, that's an unhinged person.
Yeah.
That's someone that's not stable.
No.
Like, you don't want anything to do with someone that would physically assault you like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like a bioweapon too. When someone spits
if you spit
on
on
you,
a cop, you can't get bio charges. And shit.
I think they do. Like that could be like hazardous materials shit.
Cops will hit you with anything they can at the moment. If you piss them off, they'll hit you with everything.
Oh yeah.
You'll be getting hit with citations you didn't even know existed. Like, yeah, and you were too close to that hydrant right there when we arrested you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
That's 49 feet, not 50.
Yep.
You can't park there. Yeah.
Don't fuck with cops.
No, if they want to throw the book at you, that's the kind of definition of it. But if you think about it, you're on a first date, and if you want to walk out on the first date, like grounds for walking out on a first date. If I were to meet someone and it's like we met, say, online, and it's like all I've got is a profile picture and a few posts.
That's how it started.
And and if I was to go to dinner and show up and it's like, oh, you're not even within 200 pounds of the fucking fake pictures you've been posting, that's not you at all. What else are you full of shit about? I'd be turned off by that.
Yeah.
I would be highly turned off by that, and could be grounds to just like sneak out the back door. Fuck this. But the thought of slapping someone, spitting on someone, like, dude, that shows your character and how unhinged you are, you know. Politically disagree.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Dude, there's so many
Imagine if there's real world
shit
what
an adult would have
disagree
done?
with.
Oh man, I disagree with that. I don't think
What
we're
did you
gonna get
do
along.
when it hit
Dude,
you?
I kind of sat there for a second. I was just sitting there with
Did
my
any
coffee.
part of you
I was
want to
just
get
like,
up and fucking bitch slap him?
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I want to throw the coffee on the way out, just hit him in the back, and it was hot coffee too.
Yeah,
I
I
could have
would've.
totally did some damage. But
Yeah.
I sat there for something like, man, that really just. I guess he disagreed
Did anyone
with me.
see it?
No, it was a mostly empty place. I don't think any of the workers were paying attention. I wasn't looking around. I was still kind of like in shock that all this just happened. I'm sitting there just like, all
That's
right,
fun.
I guess
Do you remember what the conversation was leading into it?
It was literally like we were just kind of going about life and stuff like that. And then he said something like, oh, well, this was going on. And then all of a sudden the fucking government cut this for me or whatever. And it was something I disagreed with. He's saying something maybe about healthcare or something. It was Trump's early shit. And
was Trump president already?
Trump was president.
Okay,
yeah.
so he was already in a stew.
Yep. So he was already in a bit of a stew. And I think he just got around with like something with his healthcare was all fucked up and it was all Trump's fault. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think Obamacare was a good idea either. You know, and like I was trying to do that, and, Yeah. And then he was like, well, what do you think is a good idea? I'm like, well, I mean, right now I'm with this. Well, I was talking about my job has insurance, shit like that.
Yeah.
And, shit like that. And I think I said something pro-Trump, and he just stood up and hit me, like with the spit. I was just saying, like the economy and shit. And even with my health insurance, I'm making more than ever. And he just, like with this Trump economy shit.
Yeah. Oh, that's a death. You sent a message when you said something like that. You knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
And
I
you
didn't even
sent
say
that
like,
message.
oh, I voted for Trump and I support him vehemently. I was like, no, I like what he's doing with the economy. And then that was it.
No, the funny thing is people don't believe you when you say that. Like when they're like, this guy's this and that, and this guy fucked so-and-so and lied about this and that. I'm like, yeah, and what are his policies like? I'm assuming they're all fucking assholes.
Yeah.
What's your next? Who cares? Are we going to do this? Just go back and forth about what a piece of shit this guy is versus that guy? I'm assuming they're all pieces of shit.
Yeah.
So what are their policies like? I'm never going to meet them. I don't even want to meet them. I'm never going to talk to them. They don't personally give a flying fuck about me. But the broad sweeping things that their administrations are going to do matter to me.
Yeah.
The border matters.
That's why we
Inflation
say-
matters. Gas prices matter. Like those things. And I can make a clear distinction between this guy and that guy. It ends there for me. It ends there for me.
Yeah.
I don't care about their morals and are they morally grounded and blah. Like,
No, the
fuck
federal
off.
government's all bullshit. I say just worry about your local politicians and your senators and stuff, your representatives. That's all you got to worry about.
Yeah.
Past that, fuck them.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Stormy Daniels is in court, and I read this article by, of all people, Ben Shapiro, and I thought it was interesting. It was behind the paywall, so I printed it out.
Forked up?
Yeah, I'm a member, because there's some I shouldn't be, but I wanted to watch the What Is a Woman documentary and a couple other things that they were putting out that I thought were really good. And the only way to have access to those was becoming a member. And so I do want to support shows that I like anyways. I respect the fuck out of people that support this show. And so I do, when I can, support some of these things.
You're that listener, some of your money's going to Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, exactly. $10 a month goes to Ben Shapiro. And actually, it doesn't go to Ben Shapiro. I very rarely read Ben Shapiro's shit.
It's mostly the whole Daily Wire.
It's the Daily Wire and the stories they tend to focus on. And not to give a commercial to them, but they do a one sheet. They very rarely, unless it's behind the paywall, then they'll be longer. Very rarely are they more than a page. And for me,
that's nice.
And what I have to do and how I edit when I'm putting together a show, like there's some papers that I like that are so busy with the garbage on them. When I need to copy and paste and cut and edit those to make them work, and so that I get this, Daily Wire like gives me this. And it's like, if I even go to Daily Mail,
give you a lot of room for interpretation.
No, Daily Mail will give me 9 pages, and then I need to work to get it down to this, usable. Or the New York Times or the New York Post. New York Post is horrible. Horrible. Even though I like some of the reporting, it's like, oh my God, it takes me twice as long just to prep this thing to dump it down onto
and the whole time you
usable
got the ads
page.
jumping up on your page, just blocking everything.
Exactly. And I know this is like, woe is me and a me problem only, because most of you are not fucking pulling stories to then edit and use later. So that's irrelevant to you. But for my world, that's why Daily Wire, because they're all basically doing the same stories. It's just their personalities and takes on them. And they trim most of the fat for me on a lot of stuff. So, but anyways, this particular article I thought was decent. I'll read it to you. The court in New York is currently trying Donald Trump on charges that are completely specious. I don't know what specious means. See, he's already smarter than me. Specious, specious. What does that mean? Charges that, effectively speaking, he paid off Stormy Daniels before the election.
Superficial, plausible, but actually wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's a good use of specious.
That is a good use. That's my word of the day now.
Yeah, specious. I like that. I was going to blow that off. Thank you for looking that up.
No worries.
So he charges that he paid off Stormy Daniels before the election for electoral purposes as opposed to personal purposes. Charges that have not been sustained by any sort of federal criminal prosecution. What is this all really about? What it's about is humiliating Donald Trump. Good luck with that, by the way. I agree with him that that's the point. I think it goes further than just humiliate him.
If you want to humiliate him, just let him talk for a while.
Yeah, there's no humiliating an egomaniac like Donald Trump. That's not going to happen. I think it's bigger than that. I don't know why Democrats seem to think this is going to affect Trump in any way, shape, or form. Trump has been part of the seamier side of American politics and business for decades. There's a reason he was in a tape for Playboy. There's a reason he was seen as a Studio 54 guy for years and years. It's not as though Trump has led the most pristine sex life, and no one at this point is surprised by any of the allegations that were made in court yesterday. But that didn't stop the Democrats from dragging Stormy Daniels into court. She's the heroine of the republic because, as it turns out, all it takes to be a heroine in American life now is to be a porn star who has sex with a married man and then blackmails that married man for money. And then when the deal fell through, Daniels decided to go public with all of that to harm him. That is what heroism truly is. So long as that married man is a Republican, if the married man is a Democrat, as we all know, it's time to wreck the woman. If that married man is Bill Clinton, then it's time to completely wreck Monica Lewinsky's life. That's how this works. And that is so true. I mean, and you could say the same thing for Joe Biden. Tara Reid's claims, was that her name, Tara Reid? Or am I thinking of the actress? Those were credible rape claims about Joe Biden, and they have done nothing but destroy that woman. In fact, after the show today, I think I'm going to give a watch to Tucker Carlson. Sat down with her. Was that her name? Tara Reid.
Tara Reid.
Tara.
Yep, Tarareade. So there is the actress Tara Reid, but Tara Reid was his neighbor.
And worked in the government on some level. She was like an assistant.
Former neighbor of Joe Biden accuser, Tara Reid. So this is the neighbor coming forward to corroborate the story. Yeah, and she was an assistant to him.
That was a credible accusation.
Sergeant at arms.
Yeah, okay. That was a credible accusation of rape that no one has disputed, but Do you see the difference in those? That it was Tara Reid is not allowed in polite society anymore.
Yeah.
I think she's moved to Russia because they're investigating her now. But
it's like Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, Monica Lewinsky's a great example. And I've said for years on this platform, if given the chance, Monica Lewinsky is the one person that I would absolutely love to talk to and apologize personally to.
Yeah.
The abuse that woman took. And I disagree with her vehemently on almost everything. But the abuse that woman took and the fact that she didn't kill herself is remarkable. It's remarkable. She's the one person when it's like everything the Drew and Mike show did over the years. Is there anything like OJ? Fuck OJ.
Yeah.
You know, that guy got all the abuse he deserved and then some. And we went hard in the paint at him. Monica Lewinsky. It should have been Bill that took all that heat, not Monica.
Yeah.
People just didn't care about women at that point. You know,
it was mid-90s.
Yeah. Me Too movements, believe all women. None of that shit applied. It
We're
still
still
doesn't.
getting there.
we're still working on it. So Tara Reid's going, but she just dropped an interview with Tucker Carlson interviewed her. And it just dropped on X. So I want to check that out. But, believe all women the buck stops there.
Yeah.
So that's how this works. All of it came to a head yesterday. Trump suggested all of this was coming out of the crooked Biden White House. The orders may not have come directly from the White House, but it's very clear that Dems in the city of New York have decided they are going to engage in electoral interference. That's what this stupid case is. Trump went into the courtroom where the judge, who is absolutely oriented against Trump at this particular trial, decided to allow the testimony of Stormy Daniels. There is no legal reason Stormy Daniels had to testify. She brought nothing useful to the court. There was no reason whatsoever for her to be in the courtroom. Whether or not she had sex with Trump is completely irrelevant to the charges that are being brought because they are about whether he, via Michael Cohen, his lawyer at the time, paid her off prior to the election and then reimbursed Cohen after the election, and whether it was a campaign finance expense as opposed to a personal payoff designed to quash the rumors so as to not bother his wife, Melania. The case the defense is making is that this is the kind of payment that is constantly made in American life. It can't just be pinned on the election. The case the prosecution is trying to make is that this was all about stealing the election by silencing Daniels, as though any of the Daniels material coming out prior to the election would have saved Hillary Clinton, which we know is not the truth because the tape of Trump talking about grabbing women by their pussy.
I was just going to say.
And he still won. That was out.
We heard that tape and everybody unanimously just went, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's vote for him.
Dude, I honestly thought, like, ooh, how do you spin this one? This is a tough one.
He just went, yeah.
He didn't even need to. They didn't
have
care.
to. He was just like, yeah, we said some shit.
He's like, and then after a few days, people went, yeah, I'd expect.
I still feel bad for that reporter Bush who got fired for that.
Yeah, fuck him. He's a dork. But
it's still kind of funny. It's like, imagine you're just in a car talking to Donald Trump, and then all of a sudden
he laughed. He courtesy laughed.
So you courtesy laugh at one of his jokes because he is a multimillionaire that you're trying to get in good with. Billionaire that you're trying to get in good with.
Yes, and if of course you would laugh at those. Yeah. He's back now. He's fine.
Good.
So that didn't alter it. You think a tryst with a porn star would have changed the outcome in 2016? That's laughable on his face. Daniels talked about her sexual tryst with Trump in 2006. Now, you may be asking yourself, isn't the year 2024? Wasn't this affair almost 2 decades ago? What the hell are we talking about Trump's 2006 sex life for? That's because you're a rational human being. We're talking about Trump's sex life because the Democrats need some hook to hang their hat on to claim he's a convicted felon. They charged him with 34 counts of felony campaign finance violations in the city of New York. The plan was to get Stormy Daniels in the room saying shameful things about Trump. This whole thing was a put-up job. It was all designed so Daniels could unspool this bizarre story about the one time she slept with the future president, the time she spanked him with a rolled-up magazine. Her original story was that they had this awkward encounter she didn't enjoy, but she didn't say no. Now she treats it though it's quasi-rape. Daniel stated, I was staring at the ceiling. I didn't know how I got there. Really? She went up to his room and then didn't say no as he had sex with her. She has had sex with people on camera for a living.
Yeah.
This was not her first rodeo. The attempt to turn Daniels into a resistance hero is quite pathetic. It's designed to be a laugh line for the left wing, which is why journalists spent the day guffawing at Trump. So I'm going to put it out there as a warning to people on the left laughing at Donald Trump. And he's like, do that at your own peril. Remember last time you guys pulled this with the correspondence dinner with Obama?
Yeah.
Trump was like, all right, motherfucker, I'll just take your job. If this is the best the Democrats have, they ain't got nothing. Yeah, and they still can't even really explain what their problem is with this, what the violation is. And dragging in the... I don't know. I guess maybe it's just because I don't care about this stuff. I assume they're all doing it, but dragging into court the guy from the Inquirer, David Pecker, David Pecker, and putting him on the stand and like, oh, these what do they call them? Like kill story, like
hit piece.
Well, no. The ones that they would pay and kill or whatever they call those, where the National Enquirer will go around and be like, if you're like, oh, I've got a picture of fucking, so-and-so losing their shit, Britney Spears losing their shit. And it's like, oh, fuck, we'll give you $100,000 for that. Don't sell it to the Globe, sell it to us. And so one of the other things that people were doing, is if you were friends with them and you were a rich person too, and you've seen this on every political TV show in the history of time, where it's like, hey, don't run that piece that sucks, and next week I'll give you a better one. I'll give you the exclusive on X. And it's kind of a scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, but don't run that hit piece now for me. And so a lot of these guys have done this, pay for play type of stuff and killing stories. Donald Trump and celebrities have been the target a lot of times of these things. And it's like, I don't need every fucking asshole that I took a photo with coming back 15 years later trying to get their 5 minutes of fame by making up some hellacious story about me. Or the other side of that, maybe it's true. Maybe that story is true. And it's like, I don't need this out there, dude. I'm married now. I got a couple kids that are starting to read the tabloids.
Yeah.
The last thing I need is this fucking loudmouth whore showing up now, ruining my fucking marriage. How about I pay you $1 million and you kill that fucking story for me, Pecker? We've been friends forever. Now, next time I have a juicy story, I'll give it to you as an exclusive. I won't go to the Globe. I won't go to the fucking name the paper.
It's catch and kill.
Catch and kill stories. Thank you.
I'm looking at it now. It looks like they just made an agreement behind the scenes for $30,000 that he will not drop his weird story about Trump having an illegitimate child until after the election.
Wait, what is that one?
This is what I'm trying to go through right here from
Pecker?
ABC News. Yeah, this is from Pecker, and there's another guy in here, Bove, who I think is the prosecutor.
Okay.
Publisher David Check. Yeah, on Friday. Defense attorneys in Trump's hush money case sought to reframe the tabloid's motivation for coordinating with Trump and his then attorney, Michael Cohen, ahead of the 2016 election, suggesting that Pecker was just trying to boost magazine sales. So I think he got the catch and kill story, and they're just like, hey, knock this out. We don't care.
The thing is, this stuff has gone on forever. Yeah. So when you put people on camera or in court and they're pearl clutching, like, oh my God, this guy was anything that was bad, he was killing the story. It's like, yeah. And so is Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
And so is fucking Ben Affleck. So is any powerful person with the means and the access to these things. And it is a quid pro quo kind of thing. Like, they're oftentimes working hand in hand. Like, the public wants to hear everything they can about Brad Pitt. And, that's why it's like, I'll sell you the exclusives to my wedding for $1 million. You get all the exclusive pictures, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a quid pro quo going on there that they're selling access. And they're also at times going, dude, you run this story, you were going to fucking destroy I made a fucking mistake, and I don't need you making it front page fucking news and ruining my life. That's just the way this goes. And to act like outrageous, how could anyone do? Andy wants to be president? It's like, yeah, we all assumed he was hanging out at the Playboy Mansion and fucking whores. Like, that's as old as time. Anybody with money, anybody with some fucking clout is using that to land pussy over the years.
I think the only person to ever go in the Playboy Mansion and not fuck a bunch of whores was you.
Yeah, right? I tried. I got blown in the Playboy Mansion.
You got the fanny
No, they
pack,
wanted to fucking... anyways, they wanted to film me, and I was like, no, dude.
Get me out of here.
Get out, fuck out of here. Stormy Daniels, there's even some legal analysts on CNN that are saying she is a shit show on cross and for the defense. Like, and people, it sounds like most people are like, what are these people
She's
doing
a washed-up
here?
porn star. There's not much she can do.
Dude, you're in your 40s. You're a porn star. Like, what are you still glomming onto this story from 18 years ago?
She's going to strip clubs to do stand-up now.
Yeah. We've seen this play out. I used to host
the Ron
those
Jeremy
people. Yeah, I used to host those people at strip club nights. Ron Jeremy being one of them. And they're sleazy fucking people. But Stormy Daniels gave disastrous testimony. And here's the thing. A judge already said that Stormy Daniels is liable for $500,000 or $630,000 to pay Trump. Now, Trump doesn't give a shit about that $630,000. I don't think he's. That's just. He'll probably never go after her, kind of like Johnny Depp with like Amber Heard. It was like,
make a point.
I'm making the point. You don't really owe me $50 million. Fuck off. I know that's the judgment. And if you're a cunt, maybe I'll try to enforce it. And people can make other people's lives miserable.
Yeah, it's $122,000 in Trump's legal bills.
I thought it was over $500,000 total.
Donald Trump's legal fees were racked up. Connection.
I'm
not seeing that one. I'm seeing the $120,000.
Trust me, it might be $500,000 plus the $120 in it, and that's why it's
2022 coming up here. It says no, that's Donald Trump owes $300,000 in legal fees. So yeah, I'm not seeing that one. Oh,
here
we go. 2024 March 9th. Former stripper Stormy Daniels owes Donald Trump $670,000 in legal fees.
Yeah,
which she's refusing to pay.
She's refusing to pay, and so this makes for an interesting thought. So this judge found that defamation lawsuit was bullshit and is ordering you to pay Donald Trump's legal expenses on that to the tune of $670,000. Is that what you said?
Yeah, $670,000.
Well, she is just going to refuse to pay. So what does that say as far as when you're talking about credibility in a courtroom? What does that tell this courtroom and this judge about your honesty, your integrity? If you're willing to take a judgment by this fucking judge over here and tell him to fuck off, basically, I'm not paying it. That doesn't look good for you now over here, that I will be honest and I will be blah, blah, blah in my testimony. No, it says that you're out to get someone and you don't even give a shit what the judgment is. You're going to ignore it anyways. Now, the good thing for her is Trump's probably not going to waste his fucking time.
He doesn't care.
Going after this loser for $600,000. He's not worried about her. It's like, can we just shut this bitch up and make it go away? Like, I put my dick in this whore 20 years ago. Can she please fuck off now? Trust me, everybody, she used to be sort of hot. Like that's where it should end.
Yep.
But but this is where we're at. Anyways, I thought the article from Shapiro was pretty decent. Now moving on to other things, we've got the protesters at Case Western Reserve University.
Okay.
It's nice to see someone outside of the Columbias and Yales and Berkeleys of the world.
Case Western
Reserve University. I've never heard of that place. I guess it's in Cleveland. Oh, that's why I've never heard of it. It's in fucking Cleveland, Ohio.
Yep, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yikes. So they tried to stand guard over a wall that had been vandalized. When they refused to stand down, the contractor was hired. So people are doing this. They're taking World War I monuments, World War II monuments, and they're like, death to America, spray painting them. Like, lack of respect completely for this nation. Lack of respect,
especially for an argument about the Jewish versus the Palestine, to face a World War II monument in general is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like, that's kind of a message. That's a very hateful message to the Jewish people.
Yes. And the messages are getting more and more heated and more ugly, if you will. I mean, you're just openly calling for the death of people that disagree with you at this point. Like, I've been pretty clear on my stance on this. I'm 10,000 miles away, and unless it lands on my shores, I just don't give a fuck.
Once they get here,
however you guys settle it, I'm not going to go. I'm smart enough to know that I'm so stupid that I'm not going to make valid arguments for, like, well, why did Britain give Israel this land? Did they have the right to do it? Should it be from the river to the sea that all Palestinians are free? Like, I don't fucking know. And honestly, with you, at this point, I don't fucking care. Yeah. And maybe that's half the point of this, is for most people to go, fuck it, I don't know. Fuck if I know. Seems like you cats can't get along ever, so fuck it, figure it out. That's kind of where I am.
Yeah, I'm at that point too now. It's like, how about we just stop sending them money and let them deal with it?
Yeah, and that's,
I don't care if they're our ally or not. I'm at a point where it's like, we don't have the money to support them. Let's just stop.
Yeah.
Let them handle
it.
And
I would have more respect for that. If it's like, just cut off the fucking financial, unless, like, I am all for, you want to fund American citizens that are struggling in this country, do more to actually help them out. Fine, I'm all for that. I love that. And then if we've got extra, fine.
Yeah,
we can send a little extra around, and you can never do enough to help.
But right now, America's fucked.
And no one cares.
Yeah.
No one in leadership cares. That, like, speaking of Palestine, have you heard about Palestine, Ohio in a year?
Yeah.
No, they're still fucked. You want to talk about Ohio, that whole thing is still fucked over there.
Yeah.
Not the people's fault. No one cares. When was the last time you heard anyone who gives a flying fuck in those organizations like our government or media? When was the last time they had a meaningful conversation about Maui?
Yeah.
Why are we not sending $160 billion to fucking Maui?
Well, that's because Oprah and The Rock bought all the properties so they can make a bunch of mega mansions.
Did they? No, I know. But honestly, for the people, like, no, I'm not opposed to helping out your partners and your friends across the globe. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I really think it's sad when you ignore what happened in Maui and when you ignore what happened with the railway crash. And
let's take it back.
Palestine.
What happened to Flint? Their water's still poison.
Yes. No one cares about those poor black people.
They were running on it for a a Everyone said they're going to fix the issue. They were running on fixing that issue.
I'll never forget that awesome video of Obama drinking the water.
Yep, the little sip.
It wasn't even safe. I don't even think the water touched his lips.
Like the water safe.
It's the most disingenuous video you've ever seen in the history of time. That's good water. That's good water, Flint. What's gone on with Flint? Nothing. There's been no movement there. What's gone on with Ohio? Nothing there. Fuck those people, right? Maui, nothing. I believe they gave them one-time $700 checks in Maui. So I care about that stuff before I'm willing to stand up and deface a building over what's going on 10,000 miles away from me.
Yeah.
That is, there's probably their version of events, these people's version of events, and then the truth somewhere in between them. They're probably both right and both wrong on many things, just like anything that you talk about in the world. There's probably multiple sides of the story, and it's very nuanced. And I'm sorry, I'm not that bright of a person, and I just don't have the fucking time or the care to get that involved. I just don't.
No.
But these protesters do, and I love watching them get their teeth kicked in and get their ass kicked, seeing them running around playing cops and robbers, essentially, and playing superhero with their fucking Rubbermaid shields. It's hilarious.
Airsoft goggles.
Airsoft goggles, running around like we're saving the world.
They're fucking LARPers.
Fucking absolute dorks.
I got the Obama drinking the Flint water, too.
Oh, do you?
It was so funny. Yeah, hold up. I'll pull it up over here.
That good water. It's good water.
It's good water.
I'm going to show you.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see. This is Obama.
Oh, let me turn the volume up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Sorry, we have a pinball machine that's in the way.
Yeah, I don't know why you put it right there.
Well, because it's the only place it can go.
I know. I'll start it over.
Oh.
Thank you, press. I will see you again in the larger rally.
What about the water?
There you go. Generally I have not been doing stunts here, but,
Stunts.
And this used a filter.
You didn't drink
water
it,
around this table.
You did do shit.
Was Flint water that was filtered. And it just confirms what we know scientifically, which is...
So how do
He's saying a lot of words that mean nothing. That means he's
nothing.
bullshitting.
And if anybody, and I'm sure all of you have seen the clip of him sipping that water, it's just so insulting and so embarrassing. Like, what would be the problem? If you're like a Democrat, like you pretend to care about some of these causes, right? You pretend to care about the people on the ground in fucking Eastern Ohio and Palestine, Ohio. We see you and we're with you. Flint, Michigan, we see you and feel your pain, and the water is blah blah blah. Maui residents, we see. And wouldn't it be even better if the left, who cares about all these causes, and pretends to anyways, they want to get the clicks and the views and the fucking votes by running on this stuff, but then you don't do shit about it. Wouldn't it be better if you just went, I'm elected to do this, and we are not leaving the grounds of Palestine, Ohio, until this rail or tragedy is cleaned up.
It. Like, you get yourself a specialized guy whose whole job is just to fix the Palestine issue, and then you can say whenever people are like, what's going on in Palestine? I'm like, well, let me talk to my guy down there. Hey, how are you doing?
We're on
there?
it. I can only be in so many places, but I've got people, I've got boots on the ground, and they are tasked with that. And like, fine, as a federal government, like, okay, if we're cool sending $160 billion over to Ukraine, well, how about you peel $10 billion off that, and which is nothing, and drop that in Ohio, drop that in Maui, just to get them started. Do that in Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan, we've been fighting about Flint, Michigan for over a decade now, right? Yeah. Hasn't that been going on for a fucking decade at this point? And I don't think they're any closer. And no one seems to care. I think it'd be so much better if you went, you know why you don't talk about Flint, Michigan? Because our team fixed that shit 4 years ago. That's why. Yeah. You can still run on the success. My history speaks for itself. I cleaned up the railway accident in fucking Ohio 4 years ago. And I cleaned up the water issue years ago in Flint. That's why it's not a debate or a talking point. And we've been fixing fucking Maui for 2 years. That's why that's not a talking point anymore. Check it off the list.
Yep.
But I don't understand. But anyways, this goes back to the Case Western
also,
Reserve
before you go,
University.
I got a correction to make. You said $160 billion was sent to Ukraine. It's $175 now.
175. Okay. Yep. What's another $15 billion between friends, right?
Just keeping you up to date.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. It's just pathetic.
It makes me so upset.
It's just infuriating.
Especially because I drove past like 20 homeless people today.
Yeah.
And maybe they're faking it, but at the same time, it's like, come on, we got a problem here.
Well, these people are protesting, and they're gonna stand their ground. These young people that know everything, they're gonna stand their ground. So this wall has been desiccated, and so they're like, yeah, we're hiring a third party painting crew to come in and paint over the shit you desecrated this wall with. It was vandalized. The wall had been covered with red handprints and what CWRU President Eric Kaler referred to in a letter as threatening, intimidating, and anti-Semitic language. Another wall was also painted by protesters, saying the language on that wall was less threatening but still intimidating to some in our community. He announced the university's plans to paint over the walls. University has painted over the advocacy wall and will complete painting over the spirit wall this morning. He acknowledged that students had been hit by paint as third-party contractors. So let's watch the video of them painting, and these guys are like, no, we're going to stand here.
As you get closer, slowly.
Better put your shield on, asshole.
I love that they at least gave the kids shields. So like, here, right over them.
Right. They just fucking painted right over his face, his arms.
I love the caption, students assaulted by contractors. I'm like, the contractors didn't assault them. They said, hey, can you move?
Hilarious.
And they gave them masks.
Yep, there you go. How about that? Yeah, a little paint on your face and hair.
Oh, good luck getting that out of your hair. You deserve it.
Yep. You don't own this wall.
He's
you don't
being
get
nice. He's like going around him a little bit.
Yeah, I wish he would have just face
right over him.
Shit
he got
out
the
of
first kid pretty good.
Yeah, that first kid took it right in the face. It was great. I love it.
Not the people.
Oh, there's more. Don't worry.
Was already here. The people got it away home.
Yeah, I'm paid to do a job, kid.
I just got hired to paint this wall. I don't care if you're here or not. We were told to paint through you.
And the cops are like, yeah, we told them they're going to get paint on them. What do you want us to do about it? Do you want us to arrest the fucking wall painters?
For doing their job?
What would you like the cops to do here? Here's another protester.
Oh, it's the same one as before. He's back.
No, that's a different one.
No, look at the shirt.
Maybe. Oh, he's got a little paint on him, but not in the face. I want that face just.
Yeah, well,
look
his
at
hands
that.
are fucked up.
Look at that guilty white liberal douche with his paper blue mask on. Oh, paint his face.
He's got a mask under his mask.
Yeah, paint your whole face, sir.
He's practicing the Fauci double masking.
By the way, that's not a student. That looks like a fucking engineer at some motor company. Go away, sir. Don't you have better shit to do with your time? No?
Obviously not.
Oh, these people. Unbelievable. We had to put up, let's see. So they go on. The video showed 3 protesters standing in front of a wall while the contractor painted over them with graffiti. Campus police standing by stated that they had informed the protesters they would get paint on them if they chose not to move out of the way. We had just put up beautiful pro-Palestinian art at 5 a.m. Tuesday. They told them to come in and just cover it up with and spray paint it over 2 students and a passerby that were trying to guard the wall. One student complained. Kaler, the president, viewed the video and said he was disturbed by the way the students had been treated. And after offering his apology, said that he planned to investigate the campus police, who did not step in and stop the contractors.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. No students or any individual should ever be treated this way, especially on a campus where our core values center on providing a safe, welcoming environment. I'll add a caveat to that. Unless you're a Jew or conservative.
Yeah, you can't go there then.
That doesn't. So they're all about welcoming and inclusive unless you're a Jew or you have a, even a mildly different take politically than they do. Then you are absolutely not welcome on campus. So, just a little caveat to their statement there. This is not who we are as an institution. It sort of is. And I am deeply sorry this ever occurred. I'm not. It was hilarious. Watching these clown children get spray painted over is hilarious. Watching them running full speed like a dork and trying to bowl over a cop and then get knocked on their fucking asses. Hilarious. I could watch those videos forever. That's just me, though.
And, the funniest thing is all these protesters think, oh, we have a right to do this. Well, you don't have a right to deface property and get in other companies' ways. And here's a fun fact about these not even big, but here's a fun fact about these contracting companies, and I work for one.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck about you. We want our paycheck, and we want to get the fuck off your job site. That's what we do. We just take jobs, we do the job, we get it done with.
And nobody historically had a problem with that attitude. That's how most people are. Let me do my job and go home.
Like my dad's a garbage man, right? And during the whole protest where people are like getting on the road and blocking traffic for eco, whatever, my dad's company came out with a full public statement. This was a public statement. If you're protesting in front of our trucks, we will run you over.
Do they mean people or cars?
Cars, people, anything. No, they'll run you over. It's one of those things where it's like you can't.
Well, you can't TN square people. I don't think they would say that.
You can be forceful and get up in there.
Yeah. Oh, I wish they would. Yeah. I know. Oh, believe me. Listen. I want to be crystal clear about this. As a human being,
I love those videos. By the way,
I absolutely have no problem if the garbage men want to run those protesters physically over to death. I don't have an issue with that. I really don't. If you want to chain yourself to the freeway and you get run over by a garbage truck,
I think they meant it. I'm probably being a little more hyperbolic about it. They probably meant it in more of a sense of you're going to get hurt and you're going to get. Our trucks are not going to see you.
I just while I'm all for that, like, hey, do you really believe in your cause? You want to chain yourself to a fucking open road? Fine, but when you get run over, I'll be the first one laughing about it. I don't care.
As fucked up as it is, those videos make me laugh every time. When you see the car barreling through a little protester's like flag and everything,
because they assume you're going to stop no matter what. And it's like some people just don't care.
Chasing him, like, stop that guy! What is he doing? I'm like, he's driving. Yeah. What do you think he's doing?
On my way, I would absolutely keep going. I wouldn't swerve towards protesters, but if they were fucking up my day, I would absolutely 5 miles an hour just go through until I got.
You know what I would do? I would play chicken with them.
Yeah.
First, test your brakes, know your car a little bit, but I would start speeding up. I'd make it look like I'm going to do something and slow down a little bit.
But Garrett, if you played chicken to the end, you don't want to be a pussy.
You're right.
Right? You don't want to look like a pussy and bail.
Mama didn't rain nose bitch. I'm probably hitting somebody.
So you're going to have to hit someone, and then you're looking at manslaughter charges. You're looking at possible.
Road. Yeah. I think you can get cleared about that.
Yeah. I don't think it works that
after
way.
I hit somebody, if they start coming after my car, I'll claim it was self-defense, and they were threatening me.
Yeah, but then they'll have video backing up that they weren't threatening you. Well, but just by being in the road, you're being dangerous and threatening. And this, I think it's hilarious. I think you guys are cosplaying protests. Yeah. That's what this is. Like, you think you're standing up for some noble cause, and I don't think half of you. And the reason I say that you're full of shit and I don't believe you is anytime a camera's stuck in your face, you either ignore it because you don't have a position that you can articulate, or you sound like an absolute fucking tard when you try to articulate your point. Yep. You don't know why you're there. Some people told us it was cool. We're going to go protest. And you just jump on board like the sheeple you are. Doesn't mean 100% of you are that way, but that's what it looks like to a lot of us. To a lot of us, you look like fucking children, babies, entitled clowns who have... So everything is so perfect in your little fucking mommy and daddy world right now that this is what you have to bitch and complain and cry about.
Exactly.
That's what it looks like. And it looks like you're cosplaying actual protesters. And if you could go on and articulate the point of you being there personally, you, then I'd be willing to listen to you. But you never can. You say dumb shit. You don't even know what river and sea they're talking about.
Yeah.
You don't seem to have a clue. And so, no, I don't take you seriously. I just don't. A group of illegal immigrants in Denver is refusing to relocate from a tent encampment to shelters unless their mayor, Mike Johnston, agrees to their 13 demands. Yeah, I would just stick them on a plane and dump them across the border at that point.
If they want to wave that flag, go ahead.
Yeah.
The Elon Musk rule.
You've got 13 demands. Wait, didn't we start this sentence with illegal immigrants?
Yeah.
Again, it comes down to the nerve, the gall.
Same thing I said about the ones in Dearborn arguing. I was like, go ahead, kick your neighbor's door down and demand their milk or whatever they have in their fridge.
Yeah.
See how
you do it. The balls, the temerity, the chutzpah, as we've said.
The chutzpah.
The impudence, the temerity of it all is just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. They're currently living in tents under a bridge near train tracks as the Denver Human Services Department attempts to get them into city-funded migrant shelters. The illegals, however, want the city to agree to numerous provisions for migrants staying in shelters.
Oh, that's the worst is when you're like, look, we got shelters for you. Just go to the fucking shelter. I know it's not the best situation. We're doing what we can. And they're like, we want more.
Yeah. We want better food. And we want chefs.
It's like, here are the fucking tent.
Yeah. And they're trying to, yeah. So we've got their list of demands here.
Okay. Let's see if they're reasonable.
Migrants will cook their own food with fresh, culturally appropriate ingredients provided by the city instead of pre-made meals.
Already unreasonable.
Already unreasonable.
You don't even get that in a homeless shelter. You get whatever fucking cans of soup they had laying around after a grocery store run.
Sorry. That's
Let me
just
tell
kind
you
of the way
I
it
used to
is.
work in a grocery store. We would just take whatever meat was going expired the next day, pack it in a box, freeze it, and Forgotten Harvest would take it away and give it to homeless people.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
We've seen this before, too. If you remember that Seinfeld episode, the famous one where they didn't want the donut holes.
No, I never watched that.
Or muffin tops. Muffin tops. You should. It's a great show.
Yep.
And it holds up. The muffin tops. So it was like they just wanted the... They just wanted the top of the muffin. They didn't want the bottom. And so they were pulling the bottoms off and they were throwing them away. And then one of the characters was like, hey, we should just give these to the, they've got, glad bags filled with the bottoms of these muffins.
Yeah.
And so they brought them to the homeless shelter or whatever. And the homeless people were like, where's the fucking top to our muffins, man? And they were like, fuck this. We don't want this. How dare you? They were insulted by it. It's like, hey, man. You know what?
It was this or nothing. Fuck off.
It was this or nothing. We tried our best. So rice, chicken, flour, oil, butter, tomatoes, onions, etc. Also, people will not be punished for bringing in and eating outside food. I don't know what your rules are or why they have those rules.
Usually it's for drinking and sneaking things into the shelters.
And my guess is it would also include like when you're talking about groups of people, and this happens on planes and in high schools as well, grade schools, there's things that people are allergic to that you don't want just being brought into these situations. So they're trying to say, fuck you, we'll bring in whatever we want from the outside. I'm fine with that. I'm not hanging out in your fucking shelter.
Sure. Let them go.
Whatever. Shower access will be available without time limits and can be accessed whenever. We are not in the military. We're civilians.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
You're just not legal ones.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
I've been in the military, though. You get timed showers because there's 140 guys who have to use the same 6 showers.
Yeah. And it's shit, shower, and shave in five minutes.
That's what it is. You got 5 minutes. You shit, shower, shave. You get the fuck on and making your bed.
Yeah. It's brutal. I've tried that. Shit, shower, and shave in 5 minutes.
I had to do it.
Impossible.
I did it for a couple months there.
Really? Was it? Could you do it?
It's rough. And they check your shave job and everything like that. So you can't even just be quick with it. They'll check your fucking shave job. They do an inspection every morning. Your
what
uniform,
happens if you come in at 5:30? 5 minutes, 30 seconds. That's bullshit. I know they're trying to strip you of all power.
And once you're out of
and
boot
then
camp,
build
it's a
you
lot
up,
easier,
but still. Medical professionals' visits will happen regularly. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's just get the doctors over there whenever you need.
They want to be there.
And referrals / connections for specialty care will be made as needed. All right. You realize our own homeless populations are not treated this way.
You realize our not even homeless population. Do you know how hard it is for me to get most doctor situations sorted out? Like any normal person can't get a fucking doctor situated.
Good point. And that's very true.
And they're just like, well, we want specialty doctors. Like,
we want all of them here now.
Right here, paid for.
All will receive the same housing support that has been offered to others. Oh, so they're talking about in New York, they got to stay at the Manhattan building.
Go to fucking New York.
Yeah. I think that's what that's
They're
about.
a sanctuary city.
They can't kick people out in 30 days without something stable established. Sure they can, and they should.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're giving you this window of 30 days to get your shit together and then get the fuck out of here instead of living off the teat of American.
Homeless shelters are not
well-intentioned Americans.
Long-term facilities.
This is not your new home. So 30 days, they put that on there because, believe it or not, there's other people trying to take advantage of these services when needed as well.
Yeah.
And it's not just about you. So, no, it is not on them to find out your permanent situation going forward. Sorry, doesn't work that way. There needs to be a clear, just process before exiting someone for any reason, including verbal, written, and final warnings. How about we make the verbal and written all a part of the final warning? That's what I'd be fine with.
That makes sense.
I mean, you should be thrilled that you're even getting a warning. Now you're demanding multiple warnings. All shelter residents will receive connection to employment support, including work permit applications for those who qualify. Go to fucking ZipRecruiter, asshole. I don't know what to tell you. Right? We need to donate all these services for free, by the way. This is all for free. To help you find a job. You can't even find your way into the country legally. Consultations for each person/family with a free immigration lawyer must be arranged to discuss progress their cases, and then the city will provide ongoing legal support in the form of immigration document clinics and including transportation to court cases. So not only do they want free lawyers, they want you to come pick me up at my place and drive me to court. Uber me to court.
So I'm trying to see how
many... The fucking temerity, impudence, audacity, the hardihood of these fucking people. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Anything else? Well, yes. The city will provide privacy for families/individuals within the shelter.
Okay, that's very impossible.
Yeah.
Just the amount of people you put. Most of these shelters are big gymnasiums, and they're like that for a reason. It's just so we can get as many people in the area so we can house them for what they need.
No, they want specialty rooms.
You want special rooms. You want a hotel.
Sure, yeah. Why wouldn't
a little bit of room service?
No more verbal or physical mental abuse will be permitted from the staff, including no sheriff sleeping inside and monitoring 24/7. We are not criminals and won't be treated as such. Yeah, you are, though.
Yeah.
You're like, your definition of criminal in your shithole country might be different than mine, but illegal migrants is how we started this conversation, remember? So, yes, criminal applies to you. And by the way, a lot of times a cop or sheriff being in that room is for your protection as well. You know, having a hall monitor in a situation where you've got hundreds of people speaking different languages all crammed in together and things get tense, it's not the end of the world to have a cop there to just we don't have to wait 15 minutes for him to arrive to break up a dispute. They're there. We're putting them in there. They're actually for your benefit as well. So stop looking at everything as a slight against you. No, I don't have any problem with cops being in there monitoring 24/7. Seems like the safe, responsible thing to do. And believe me, if they weren't in there monitoring the situation, you'd be bitching that they don't care enough to even leave a monitor in here for things, to keep things safe. Transportation for all children to and from their schools will be provided until they finish in a few weeks. So I'm assuming they mean for the rest of this year before summer vacation starts. So the bus, they want the bus to make a stop there and pick them up. Is that what they're saying? No separating families, regardless of if family members have children or not. The camp will stay together. It's not how that works, but okay, sure. Throw it in your list of demands. The city must schedule a meeting with the mayor and those directly involved in running the newcomer program ASAP to discuss further improvements and ways to support these illegal migrants. Actual citizens don't get to demand sit-downs with your mayor, okay? And executives running programs.
Yeah, this isn't shit we get.
No, we don't get the access to that.
And I pay my taxes. They're not paying fucking shit in the taxes.
No, they're take. You're demanding ASAP, by the way. You threw in ASAP in there. As soon as possible. You're demanding the mayor sit down with your illegal ass so you can explain ways to make this better for your illegal ass. No fucking citizens. You know what the citizens of this country have to do? They go to stupid meetings and stand in line with a timer put on them to talk to a fucking mayor, if they get that far. And usually they're ignored. So, no, you want all this special treatment, fuck off. The city must provide all residents with a document signed by a city official in English and Spanish with all of these demands that includes a number to call to report mistreatment. Denver, a self-described sanctuary city, announced budget cuts to police, sheriff, and fire departments last month to allocate more funding for illegal immigrants. The city is scrambling to shelter and provide for around 40,000 migrants who have arrived just in the past couple months.
Yeah, because fuck the guys paying the taxes. Let's make them a little more unsafe so we can get more immigrants in here.
Good luck. Good luck with that. And Denver, I don't feel bad for you. You know, you used to be a great state in this country, but if that's the way you're going to behave and you think the answer is cutting fire services, police services, and other services so that you can effectively house more migrants, you can see how grateful they are for all the work you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's very, very crucial that we acknowledge these migrants are very, very thankful and not at all entitled.
No,
and whatnot.
While you're doing that story, I was trying to look up just approximately how many undocumented immigrants are in the USA, and it's really fucking hard to find an approximation because usually it's like, well, in 2021, I'm like, yeah, well, Biden was still in his early stages, all right, but I think the closest number I found for our most recent story was 11.3 million. So you're trying to tell me that we're going about to allocate these resources for immigrants for what seems to be 11.3 million fucking people.
Good luck with that. Good luck.
You're not getting shit. Fuck off.
It's just hilarious.
They're still going to get shit. It's going to make me upset.
The entitled nature of it all is what's so infuriating.
They're going to get what they want, and it's going to make me so upset.
I know. Maybe. And this isn't to say that people involved in these programs, and I don't care what that program is, they're not like living the high life.
No.
Okay? People in these programs, but these programs are not meant to be like
long term.
Welcome to your new life. These are meant to just be a small buffer while you get back on your feet, get reestablished. So to come and demand like months of stays and we want to all stay at the Roosevelt now. It's like, yeah, well, that's not how this works. You want room service and you want it catered to your specific diet and needs and blah, blah, blah. Like, you realize that is in no way how our homeless population are treated, our sheltered population are treated. It's disgusting. And seeing the entitled nature of it all time and time again, there was a story, I believe it was in Chicago or somewhere around there, where the migrants took over the football fields. And so they had to cancel the games, the football games and soccer games that were scheduled for that field because they refused to leave. They were trying to get them off the field so that the kids could have their games that were already scheduled. These are leagues.
Yeah, they're open kids. And they're fields.
Yeah, these kids had to just fuck off and go home because the migrants are demanding to stay. And
look, I feel for the migrants. I know they're going through a lot with the whole travel thing, whatever bullshit, but you can't start making demands when you get here. You have to fucking lay low, get your shit sorted, and then become a legal citizen, and maybe make a few demands.
Yeah, or figure it out. Yeah. You know, I mean, the point of immigration in any country in the world is not to go become a giant nuisance. Yeah. And that's not the way I'm sorry, you don't like your country, you think there's better opportunities here? Well, there's a path to do that. Yeah. It's a lengthy one, and it requires a little bit of work on your part before you're welcomed with open arms into these communities. You want to bypass all that, and on top of that, be an absolute asshole about it and ingrate about it. And it's why one of the most compassionate societies on planet Earth, and that is true of the American society. Yeah. They're very compassionate. They want to see the best in people. By and large, I'm not talking about exceptions to rules. I'm talking about by and large. They're very kind people. They're very generous people. They don't like being taken advantage of, though, and that's what it feels like, which is why the number one issue that people have across this country right now, more so than saving money because of inflation or on grocery bills, is the fucking shit show at the border. That's the number one thing in this country. So you can say all along, oh, this is Trump's fault. Well, I don't give a shit whose fault you think it is. This is a problem that is gone to be the number one in this country since Joe Fuckface took over as president.
Last I heard, Trump wanted to build the wall and get him out.
Yeah, and that's what he's planning on now.
Yep.
And don't give me this bullshit like, oh, we gave the plan was to handle illegal immigration, and Trump shot it down, and now blah, blah. It's like, don't give me that pork-filled nonsense where it includes you sending billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine.
It's a TikTok bill again.
Yeah, it's a TikTok bill again, which is an absolute fucking Trojan horse. So don't give me that nonsense. Don't act like, oh, yeah, we just wanted to take care of the immigration problem, and Trump blew it up. Well, what are we going to do? That's bullshit. You know it. All right, let's do some emails.
Yeah, my last thing, and maybe you got better info on this, but one of my last things is we've had an immigration problem since, like, South Park made fun of it in 1997 on their first season. They took our jobs.
Yeah, well, that wasn't season one.
No,
that was years later.
But
they've been making
like this
fun
for a while.
of it forever.
So how come now they're trying to make demands? Just constantly. It feels like now they're more entitled than ever, and that's what's really bothering me.
Well,
it's not just the immigration.
Well, that's a good point. And they're also getting legal advice.
Yeah.
And there seems to be powerful groups behind these people, which is why you get a lot of dumb people. But when you tell a college kid, for instance, we'll give you $50 to do anything.
Yeah.
Dude, $50 to a college kid is a night of partying.
Oh, no, I had a cousin who campaigned for Biden. He even says, like, dude, they're paying me. I don't even fucking support it.
Yeah, of course. That doesn't
for
surprise
Biden in
me.
Detroit. He loved it.
So when you see, look around. The pamphlets are out there about, here's how to behave at the protest. Here's what to demand. Here's what you say. Here's what you tell the press. Here's what if you get arrested. Here's what you need to do. Here's how you talk to the police. Like, these pamphlets are out there. So somebody is paying for that stuff, and somebody is teaching these protesters how to be professional agitators and shitbags. So it doesn't feel grassroots at that point. It doesn't feel like, hey, we're just young people trying to make the world a better place.
It feels Soros-funded.
It feels Soros-funded. It feels gross. It feels like there's an agenda behind it. And what you're doing is using the dumbest people in our society to take advantage of. There's a reason you don't get people in their 40s and 50s out protesting, unless they're real degenerate shitbag 40s and 50-year-olds. You don't. You get 19-year-olds out there. You get people in their early 20s. You get college students and high school students out there because, A, they're stupid, and not I don't mean the standards of stupidity like, oh, they don't know anything. They don't have life experience is what they don't have.
Yeah.
So everything that's happened to them in their little existence is all they know. And the first 10 years don't count because that's just, you're basically learning
up until
how to
then
walk.
It probably is like everything came through a filter of mommy and daddy.
Yes. And now from 10 years old to 16, 17, 18, it's when you start to like establish a little independence. And so going to college, it's the first time I will be heard, and you're full of piss and vinegar, and but you're easily manipulated and easily taken advantage of. There's a reason they call you useful idiots.
Or you go the
You're
opposite
useful
route.
idiots. You can stand there all night and protest and wave your stupid sign and your flag. And but there's a reason they don't target fucking professionals and 50-year-olds and 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
They got real shit to deal with.
Or you go the opposite route like I did, where I was all that liberal, tape on the mouth, gay guy, whatever bullshit, right?
Fucking homo.
Here's the best
never
part.
said anything gay.
No. Here's the best part though. Is I think as soon as I got my first paycheck, I looked at the taxes and I just fucking dropped all that shit. I was like, oh,
I knew
fuck
someone
these
else
guys.
like that too. A girl that was doing that was
That's exactly what happened.
Super
I was
liberal.
all in, like, the government needs to step in and help here. And then as soon as I got my taxes, like, fuck the government,
dude. This girl I know did the exact same thing. Got her paycheck and was like, I worked all week, and these cocksuckers took what out?
Yep.
And this asshole wants to take more?
I was a libertarian for that
Fuck
moment on.
these people.
The day I got my first paycheck, I also signed into the Libertarian Party.
Yeah. Smart. You just hope there's more coming up behind them that are equally smart, that figure that out, like, holy shit. Okay, episode 1867. I am a daily listener. I have not written in since the early days when Jay was on the mic. Also an original Kickstarter contributor. I hope my name is on that massive sign. Fuck, I literally would have walked over there, but the sign's upstairs. I'll check later, Bill. Upon listening to 1867 episode, I feel compelled to apply a phrase I recently discovered for instances where the crying gets beyond annoying. Applies to babies or adults. Someone put a tit in Chris's mouth. Mike, I'm sorry that Chris got your goat. Find him a tit and get your goat back. I hope I'm in the majority when I say that. 1, I value every minute you're on the mic. 2, I value my free's worth. 3, you can go a day, a week, a month, or a year and a half Whenever you put out new content, I'm listening. Good luck on the move. I will miss the content during the move, but will be glad to listen the minute it's back. God bless, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
I think a lot of people are there too.
Yeah, I hope so. I said yesterday that I'm sensitive to it, and there's reasons for that. Had I not been gone for damn near 2 years around COVID and my health stuff, I would not feel this way. I would be much more like water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
But I am sensitive to it. I did hear from Chris again. Excuses is the subject. Damn, I'm sorry. P.S. Where's Raj? Cocksucker. I see what you did.
He knows what he's doing.
The reason I was comfortable enough to read Chris's email in full was because I've met Chris at events. I know he's been a supporter and a listener of this show for a very, very long time. And I'll always read your guys' complaints. And I don't pull punches on that. And anybody that's emailed in knows that. If you want to shit on Garrett or
Please
me
do.
or Isis or whoever's in our world, we will read those. But I'm entitled to disagree with some of it too. And I hope I've explained myself as to why I personally take some of this stuff. And honestly, I think part of it is fear. Part of it on my end is like, fuck.
How do I get in these fuckers' heads that we're not leaving right now?
Yeah, or we're not leaving for good, or that I need you to fucking hang in there with me for a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a few months. It's going to be a minute before I can get up and like where we want to go. But that's shit that weighs on me and it's stuff that I deal with. So, anyways, Fag Pass. Hey, fellas. What do I need to do to acquire said Fag Pass?
Yeah.
It's been a month since I first asked. Then followed up with an email with a house address. What gives? I feel I'm being shunned by the community at this rate.
I think I have this guy. I think I know the name, right?
Jeff?
Jeff. I have his Fag Pass already in an envelope with the marriage card and everything. I just didn't have an address yet. So as soon as I get the address, which I think is on that email, I'll send it out tonight.
Well, if there's one still available, I'd still love one.
It's
Jeff,
already in there.
It's
ready to go. It's going out tonight.
Okay. There you go,
It'll
Jeff.
get there when it
No
gets there.
complaining. New $10 member. Yay, Patricia. Thank you, Patricia. I never know if I'm allowed to read your...
Hold on.
What?
Patricia, what's the initial?
H.
That's my mom.
Is it?
I think so. Let me make sure.
Oh, that's your hot mom?
Let me make sure. Hold
Wait,
on.
hot mom?
Yeah, that's my hot mom.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
She is now listening to us.
Okay, Summer Snowflake.
Yeah, that's my mom's email.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, well, thanks, hot mom.
There you go.
Dude, the more hot chicks we have listening to content, the better. I'm telling you. There's I consider all the women that listen to the show like above average. They're all hot.
Yeah.
But then there's some that are just like first balloters where you're like, God damn. Put your mom in that category.
Oh.
So welcome aboard, Patricia. Thank you for signing up. That's
She's supporting her boy.
she's supporting. Yeah, she's supporting you. Mike, let's see. Dude, you do not have to explain your schedule or what you've got going on to anyone. Fuck the people saying that, although they're probably busting your balls. That's true, too.
Yeah.
A lot of that is ball busting.
Yeah, where's Raj, by the way?
Yeah. Fuckers.
We're gonna keep
And
saying that.
you know what? You know Chris is a long time listener by the fact that he edited it with Where's Raj. Like that. That's
He knows
funny.
what he did.
That's funny. It is better to bust someone's balls before washing them or do some ball washing before ball busting. That being said, before you escape to Arizona, I should really talk to you for 10 minutes. There's something that happened to me that you need to know because I don't want it happening to you or anyone else. Would buy you and Garrett, Marina, Triple G, Lando a drink, but it doesn't sound like you guys drink anymore. I'd grab lunch if that's better
I'll still
for
have a
you.
drink.
Or at night somewhere close to you, like Mr. Joe. Why do you want to meet up with me so bad? You're going to miss that McDonald's. That sucks ass. No. I don't want your fucking money. I'm not trying to sell you. Luke, just spit it out. What are you saying? I don't need to meet up with you. What are you talking about? Bring Jay or Merck. I feel like I've gotten this email before. Dude, I'm not the guy that's going to fix anything that's going on in your world, okay? I'm the one that bitches about it, so leave me out of it. Don't make me go anywhere. Don't make me meet and listen to a fucking diatribe from you about what I don't know. But I'm believe me, anybody that's close to me personally knows I'm not the one you come to for solutions. Feel free to send me an email. Yeah. Email me. That's the best way to do it. But I'm not going to Mr. Joe's and meeting up. Sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have time for that. I don't even want to make time for that. No offense. Yep. And I love you, brother. If you were a hot enough chick, if it was Garrett's mom,
maybe
I would. If Patricia wants me to meet at Mr. Joe's because she's got to discuss some stuff, then name the time. Name the time and day, Patricia. I'm there. But Luke, no. since I don't post anywhere. Fuck Raj. He'll ruin the show when he ruins the show. Tell everyone to relax, but don't stop sharing what's going on. Otherwise, people will be, oh, guess the show's done again. Hang in there, cult leader. It'll be great when it all shakes out. That's what I'm banking on, sir. I'm banking on that.
I think it'll be like that.
Yeah.
Should we do ad reads too, by the way? That's probably last
week dude, that's a good thought. Do you have one over there?
Maybe.
I'll do this one. This part of the show is brought to you by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. Located in the Deer Lake Athletic Club, the Backcourt combines first-class service with a relaxed, friendly atmosphere and a chef-inspired menu. I'd say it's more than chef-inspired. It is
fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's great. It really is. I wouldn't send you guys.
We were going around the table giving bites off other people's plates, like, oh, try this, try this, and that's how you know it's. Well, no. Yeah. It's before you took your bite. You got your one in. And it's like, oh, here, use your fork, get a little piece.
I want you to eat what you ordered, and I will eat what I ordered.
But I wanted to try more of the menu. My shit was so good, I wanted to try more.
Okay, all right, fair enough. They have daily dinner specials throughout the week, live music on Friday nights and on Friday and Saturdays, the best damn prime rib in town. I've actually seen the live music. I think there was a pretty fucking hot chick one night. Just saying. I'm not saying it was your mom hot, but it was not bad.
Get in there on a Friday or Saturday.
And I think they've got like an Elvis impersonator who's fun as shit, too.
That'd be even cooler.
That was fun. I did see that on I can't remember what night, Friday or Saturday. Call them and figure it out. So next time you're heading out for dinner or a drink, stop by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. Call them at 248-625-8686 or visit DeerLakeAthleticClub.com. Say hi to Forey over there. He's good. He's good peeps. So
this part of the show is also brought to you by Your Insurance Expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance? Are you uninsured? Health insurance can be confusing. Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173.
That's interesting. Nick just texted me, actually, during the show and said, just a heads up.
Lapsed? Go fuck yourself.
No, he wouldn't do that to you. Just a heads up. When you move, it's considered a life-changing event, so we can switch your insurance at that time to an Arizona policy, and you won't have to wait until the end of the year. That is
what an expert.
Fantastic.
Coming in clutch right there.
Dude, he knows his shit, and he's very, very
just
good.
Texted you. Already
that is really good news, because half of the battle that I've been setting up is like, how fast can you get established with people, boots on the ground wise, so that you can continue what you're taking or follow up with what is already started. The idea that I could switch without penalty and like...
That's why you need your insurance expert, Nick Matthews.
Nick Matthews. What was his number again? 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173. And I'm telling you, Nick will change your life with that stuff. Why don't we leave it there? And we'll bid everyone adieu for the day. And but we'll be back next week. I don't think I have anything pressing Monday, so we might actually do a fucking Monday show.
Yeah. I know we did a couple Monday shows, then we didn't really follow up those.
Crazy.
We're 3. We might go 4 in a row.
Could be 4 days, 4 shows in a row. So I don't want to hear people bitching. I don't want to hear it. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'll do some members content this weekend. I will. I know I said I would last weekend, and I got caught up, and I didn't.
You better bring your A game.
But I did do some members content last week. Yeah, I don't need your mom busting my balls. Something for her to listen to and everybody else. I will do some stuff this weekend, and hope you guys all have a great one. We'll see you soon.